was that pick, 146? We thought it was good value at 146. We have good process, okay? And if you'd have told me, let's see, we picked him on Saturday, right? Friday night driving home, y'all are going to pick Shedeur, I would say that's not happening. But we had a conversation early that morning, and then we had a conversation later that day. I think we had the right people involved in the conversation. At the end of the day, that's Andrew Berry's call. Andrew made the call to pick Shedeur. Just like who's going to start or what play we're going to call is Kevin's call. But that's Andrew's call. He made the call.
What happens when you drop Shannon Sharpe in a room with Mike and two confused Browns execs? A verbal cookout nobody was ready for. Jimmy Haslam and Andrew Berry thought they were running things, but Shannon pulled up with proof, punchlines, and pressure. Was Shedeur ever their pick, or was he just the only one in the room who actually knew football? If you're enjoying this heat, make sure you subscribe to the channel. It helps more than you think. Just when folks thought the Browns couldn't get any messier, Shannon Sharpe stormed through like a tornado, ripping cheap tents apart. This wasn't a roast. This was a straight-up cleansing. Shannon didn't just call out Jimmy Haslam. He basically walked into the boardroom, lit up the whole setup, and asked, "This the guy making decisions?"
I have never did this before.
Because apparently, Jimmy Haslam looked at Shedeur Sanders, shrugged, and kept strolling. The same Shedeur who's got N.F.L. scouts pacing hallways like nervous dads waiting on deliveries. They've seen this talent before, and still someone in that building acted like it wasn't real.
Train of thoughts, let me give you my first one. The first one is, he could be speaking to the city of Cleveland as if to say, don't blame me for this one. That is the man that gave Deshaun Watson guaranteed $230 million, which right now is going down as arguably the worst trade in NFL history.
How does someone running an NFL franchise stare at one of the most electrifying quarterback prospects in years and still say, "Oh, nah, I'm good"? Did Haslam take a goalpost to the head, or what? Was he watching the wrong sport on film night? You don't just skim past Shedeur Sanders. You break him down like he's the cheat code to ending decades of Cleveland confusion.
What I love career in general.
But here's Jimmy Haslam acting like Shedeur is some random name tossed on a spreadsheet between a backup punter from Montana and the janitor's nephew who once threw a halfway decent spiral. Shannon Sharpe, who survived more rough Cleveland football than most fans can handle, finally snapped. And honestly, somebody had to call out whatever's left of this so-called brain trust before they turn another quarterback into a trivia question. And then there's Andrew Berry, somehow looking confused and confident at the same time. The whole GM room feels like a group project where nobody read the assignment, yet everyone still wants to talk. Shedeur Sanders walks in with the PowerPoint, the stats, the fire, and these dudes are asking if he played tight end in high school. Shannon Sharpe, a Hall of Famer who knows real talent, is out here yelling that this wasn't his pick, that he never bought into whatever clown logic led Haslam to side-eye Shedeur like he was just some guy.
And I talk to a lot of people in the world of sports, a lot of power brokers, a lot of people that are decision makers and whatever. I heard a lot about what was going on with Shedeur Sanders coming into the draft. And I will contest to you, I will proclaim to you on national television that so much of what happened to Shedeur Sanders at draft day to drop to the 144th pick, a fifth rounder, when initially he was projected to be a top 2 or 3 quarterback taken in the draft, to all of that to happen to him. That was a slight, those were people that were hell-bent on making sure that Deion Sanders didn't get his way. And they went and they punished his son to punish him. Deion knows it, I know it, anybody with sense know it, we've all heard it covering this league.
It's one thing to mess up a draft pick. It's another to straight up fumble reality. The Browns have fully stepped into their delusional era where real talent gets questioned and average players get long contracts with welcome baskets. This isn't regular bad management. This is the kind of chaos that deserves a whole Netflix doc titled How to Mismanage a Franchise, starring Jimmy Haslam with Andrew Berry nodding in the background like an extra.
Draft. Okay.
Shedeur walks in with calm confidence, sharp reads, and a football IQ high enough to run a whole mission control room. And these guys still act like he's some unpredictable gamble. I don't get it, and honestly, he doesn't either. At this point, it's bigger than football. It's the attitude, the ego, the wild confidence of a franchise that hasn't earned the right to turn down a water boy, let alone a next-level quarterback. Shannon Sharpe sees it, Fans see it. The only folks missing the picture are the ones actually calling the shots.
Jimmy Haslam called out his GM, Andrew Berry, so hard. Do you remember when the Browns drafted Shedeur Sanders? You remember, right? He fell all the way to the 5th round. It was a big deal. And the owner said at the end of the day, this is his quote, "That's Andrew Berry's call. Andrew made the call to pick Shedeur." That's so awesome. It's so wrong also. A, it's wrong to throw your GM under the bus. B, it's wrong to throw him under the bus on something that they know, you know, everyone in the organization knows, everyone in the media knows. You are full of it. It's total.
They're moving like they live in a different universe, where up is down, talent is scary, and the Browns are allergic to good decisions. And let's keep it real. This team has needed a true quarterback spark for what feels like forever. Every season goes the same. A little hope, a couple wins, and then a meltdown so dramatic it feels like Shakespeare wrote the script. So when someone like Shedeur shows up with leadership, arm strength, swagger, and presence, they act like he's interrupting their meeting instead of rescuing the building. It's like they're scared of competence, like winning might confuse them. Wait, success? What now? And Haslam's big move is to pretend none of it is happening, like ignoring talent will make it vanish. But Shedeur isn't fading away. He's rising fast. And now that Shannon dropped the truth, the whole league is paying attention. Fans aren't just side-eyeing the Browns, they're grilling them. Because if you're not interested in Shedeur Sanders, who are you interested in?
The confidence to say that is the GM's call. It's like when the producers tell me, you know what, we're going to make this Kyle's call on where we're going to go in this particular conversation about the Cleveland Browns.
Another worn-out veteran with a stiff arm motion and a mentor tag? Someone whose best highlight is a hard count? Come on, this isn't Madden 2006. We're not going back to stiff pocket passers with no movement and no spark. The league already shifted. Shedeur is the evolution. And don't even start on the locker room vibe, because players hear everything. Young talent across the league is looking at Cleveland like it's a football graveyard, wondering who'd sign up for that mess.
Jimmy Haslam said he was driving home on Friday night. Never crossed his mind, that's after the 3rd round, that they were going to draft Shedeur Sanders the next day. When you draft a quarterback in the 3rd round, when you already have Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett on the roster, it makes absolutely no sense to draft another quarterback in that 2nd or 3rd day. And it felt like today, like, guys, I have nothing to do with this. They pick the players. I don't tell them to pick the players. This quarterback one, I'm sorry, I just don't buy it. He can say whatever he wants, and listen, you watch him talk, he's smooth at saying it. I just don't believe him, because I can't imagine a GM, given their situation, even from a Moneyball standpoint, it doesn't work like that at quarterback. This owner is proven to get involved. He got involved with Deshaun Watson, and I think it's pretty clear that he got involved.
Shedeur is the type of player who brings stars with him. He carries spotlight, swagger, and that rare energy teams spend years hoping for. But Haslam is out here acting like passing on him is some genius strategy. That's not business. That's straight self-sabotage in a suit. Shannon knows the game too well to rant for fun. He's sounding the alarm because this franchise is sleepwalking into another decade of being forgettable. You don't ignore a chance at greatness unless you're blind or nervous. And let's be real, if Shedeur came from anywhere else, without that last name, without this level of polish, Cleveland would have been drooling. But instead of embracing excellence, they're brushing it off like it's a minor mistake. And Shannon Sharpe, bless him, is just saying what everyone else refuses to admit. How can a whole franchise act this clueless? Maybe that's the new Browns' identity. Dodge greatness, miss the obvious, then congratulate themselves for staying average. Shedeur isn't just a missed opportunity, he's a mirror. A reminder of what they should want but keep running from. He walks like a franchise quarterback, talks like a leader, and he's out here in practice making defenders look silly while dropping perfect dimes. And what do the Browns do? They treat him like he's auditioning to be the mascot instead of a quarterback who could change their whole future. The one player who could finally inject real energy into Cleveland is the same player getting pushed aside by the people who need him the most. Shannon Sharpe sees it clear as day. He's played the game, studied greatness, and can spot a real one instantly. And Shedeur Sanders is that dude. Every time he steps on the field, he shows he's the most exciting thing this team has touched in years. And somehow, the Browns act like he popped out from behind a vending machine. Then Jimmy Haslam jumps in and makes it worse. Just when the situation couldn't get more chaotic, the owner adds extra shade, practically doing a public not my guy moment like Shedeur just wandered into practice by accident. This isn't bad optics. This is an unforced fumble on live TV. Imagine having a quarterback with leadership, chemistry, swagger, and fans actually hyped for once, and responding with, "Yeah, but we're not sure." It's like winning the lottery and tearing up the ticket because the numbers weren't pretty. Shedeur doesn't just look like a starter. He looks like a message. And instead of embracing it, the front office keeps overthinking everything. He hears the talk, the silence, the hesitation, all of it. And he's the type who turns disrespect into fuel, pressure into performance. Freezing him out won't shake him. Not a chance.
Browns owner Jimmy Haslam cutting Shedeur Sanders. Cutting him before he cuts him. We're gonna dive deep into this because these comments from this owner are comments you never hear from an owner that is supporting the player, especially before the player has even played one game for that franchise. A lot of people went off on these comments because how do you go there before the player even shows you why he's there?
This man grew up under Deion Sanders, and he doesn't run from pressure. He stares it down and dares it to blink first. Ain't the first time this franchise tripped over its own decisions. While Haslam and his circle are busy playing checkers in press conferences, Shedeur is out here running four-dimensional chess on the whole system. He's making off-platform throws, reading coverages like a seasoned vet, and running the offense with a calm that even veterans are noticing. Defenders whispering, "Yeah, he's that dude." Walk into camp, and there's one player the whole field gravitates toward. One guy setting the tone without even trying. That's Shedeur. His grind is non-stop, his focus razor sharp, and he doesn't seek the spotlight. He creates it, yet the Browns keep acting like his momentum is something to hide instead of build on. Everyone talks about him because he plays like the future and carries himself like he's already lived it. He's unfazed by critics, locked in, and clearly ready to prove everybody wrong, including, somehow, the owner of the team he suits up for. At this point, it's not just disrespect, it's sabotage dressed in a team lanyard. This whole thing has turned into a cell phone for Cleveland. They had a chance to look smart, bold, ahead of the curve. Instead, they're guarding the door like they're scared of their own potential. And when Shedeur finally explodes on the field, and he will, this franchise is going to realize they dropped a golden chance while it was sitting in their hands. Fans feel it too. They see the throws, the swagger, the quiet frustration, and they're asking the question nobody in Cleveland likes to face. Are the Browns about to ruin another quarterback before he even starts? Shannon Sharpe didn't speak up just to talk. He's seen greatness ignored until it walks away and lights up another stadium. He's trying to stop Cleveland from writing another chapter in their regret playbook, but the front office is too busy pretending this is strategy. Meanwhile, Shedeur's stacking motivation. Every cold shoulder, weird press answer, and half-hearted comment just adds heat. This stopped being about reps. This is personal now. He's ready to show exactly why the whole league sees him while his own team keeps squinting, like they can't focus. And here's the twist. He doesn't need permission to shine. He doesn't need an owner's approval to carve up a defense or a GM's blessing to take over a game. He just needs a field. And once the whistle hits, good luck pretending you didn't know what was coming. While Cleveland keeps tripping over their own shoelaces, Shedeur is lacing his up with a grin, ready to make every critic swallow their off-season takes like soggy cereal. He knows who he is. Shannon knows who he is. The league knows it. Somehow the Browns still don't, which starts to look less like confusion and more like fear. Fear of change, fear of being wrong, fear of someone shining bright enough to expose how dim their decision-making really is. But hey, keep sleeping on Shedeur. He'll wake you up soon with a 60-yard bomb and a stare cold enough to thaw Cleveland's frozen logic. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to subscribe, like, share, and drop a comment. And I'll see you in the next video.